It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
And I have a simple proposition here. I'm here to ask you for your help. Where I come from, you don't get far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you like what you see, help out. If not, vote for the other guy. Give me a look, though.
It was an amazing phone call. 40 Wall Street actually was the second tallest building in downtown Manhattan. And it was actually, before the World Trade Center, was the tallest. And then when they built the World Trade Center, it became known as the second tallest, and now it's the tallest. And I just spoke to my people. It was an amazing phone call I made. 40 Wall Street actually was the second tallest building in downtown Manhattan. And it was actually, before the World Trade Center, was the tallest. And then when they built the World Trade Center, it became known as the second tallest, and now it's the tallest. And I just spoke to my people. It was an amazing...
of the universe, right?
We are going to restore honor to our government. In my administration, I'm going to enforce all laws concerning the protection of classified information. No one will be above the law.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again."
Dumb as a shit fuck, you know, cringe tour, etc., etc.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, "No, this is soup from my family." They're so innocent. "This is soup from my family." It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, "No, this is just soup from my family." And then the media says, "This is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people." Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Read the polls, Jack.
Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic installation of the Goddamn. I am your host, and I'm here to deliver a productive and productful programming experience, also known as the Above It All show. I got really high last night, and I ate a lot of lemons and limes, and I fucked my lips up a little bit, so it's tickling to talk. I don't know if this makes any sense. I'm just describing my symptoms here, but talking provides like a full body tickle sensation because it's like my lips are like really fucked up, I guess. I don't know. Did I just like cut myself? I don't know. Anyway, trying my best here. I'm still recovering. I don't know. Anyway. Hello, everybody. Hello, users. I don't know how to describe this. Hello, users. If I talk like this, it's okay. But anyway, I fucked my lips up, and it doesn't hurt. It's not painful. It's just it tickles really bad. Got a show here. Brutal Doom Never. Hello, Rielon. Hello, Fun. Hello, John D. Rocky. I'm sorry about the hat situation. Hello, Bob. Hello, Donald James. Hello, Tyler. Hello, Glam Girl Adel. Hello, Mila. Abner. And more. I'm just going to talk like this with my top lip extended. Because otherwise it's really, I can't. Alright. Goddamn sinkhole. Okay. I just went to town last night. I was really high. And I was just like, fuck it. I got a bunch of lemons. I'm going to eat a bunch of lemons. And limes. Anyway. Has anyone ever done this? Like, does anyone know what to do? Like, what do you do? Like, I love eating the lemon, but then it fucks me up. You know, like, what do I do? Is there like an ointment? Should I wear like a lip guard? I'm such an idiot. All right, okay. I'm such All right. Okay. Breaking news, folks. I don't know where this is. I imagine this is in Colorado, given that it's on a Colorado news website. But officer down, folks. Arvada police officer killed in the line of duty Sunday morning. Arvada, Colorado, while responding to a disturbance call early Sunday, that's today, Arvada police officer Dylan Michael Vakoff was killed in the line of duty. According to the Arvada Police Department, the reported disturbance was located at the 67 Who Cares. The details of what led up to the killing are not known at this time, but if Fox 31 finds it, they'll let you know. Folks, we have an officer down. The investigation is ongoing, but APD has taken a suspect into custody. Their identity has yet to be released. So, goddamn rip, officer goddamn down, right? So, just, quick daily reminder that these people are not invincible. And also a daily reminder that release some body camera footage. How do we know if this cop wasn't killed in self-defense? We don't. Once again, we know for a fact cops are more likely than not to be instigators. So, if this cop was really shot and he was doing his job properly, release the body camera footage. So, it's weird how they never do that, though. Anyway, officer down, folks. Fuck 'em. My goddamn lips right now. Olive oil to coat my lips. So what do I do? Just like squeeze some olive oil into my mouth and then like put it on my tongue and then go like how do I do that? Like, what do I do in order to properly glaze my lips with olive oil? I just like put it in my mouth, go like, yeah, a few drops will do it. I don't care about the quantity of olive oil. I just need to know the method of application. All right. I'm going to go try this olive oil trick. I'll be right back. See if it works. Hello? That's some really tasty olive oil. All right. Got a news story going on here. So, apparently breaking news at the top. Queen Elizabeth's casket arrives at Scottish residence. Breaking news over a fucking casket. Get that shit out of here. Roberts defends Supreme Court legitimacy and says last year has been, quote, difficult in many respects. Oh. The goddamn integrity of the Supreme Court. People aren't taking us that seriously. People aren't taking us too seriously. I wonder if it's, maybe the things we're doing. Chief Justice John Roberts making his first public comments since the U.S. Supreme Court reversed Roe v. Wade last term, triggering demonstrations across the country, defended the legitimacy of the court Friday night, while also acknowledging it had been, quote, gut-wrenching to drive into a barricaded high court every morning. Oh, I'm gut-wrenched. My guts are wrenched right now. People keep telling us, why don't you just be a Supreme Court? Why are you legislating from the bench? And I keep telling them we ain't legislating from the bench, really. It's just, God is legislating through us. When you really think about it, it's all God's plan. But it is, what the fuck? I sincerely, does anybody actually give a fuck about the Supreme Court anymore? Now, I would argue the Supreme Court never had integrity. That's just my opinion. But why would anyone, you ever, meet these people that are like, oh, the Supreme Court, oh. I don't give a fuck what they have to say. Who gives a fuck about what Clarence Thomas has to say? The guy's a Looney Tune. The guy's a religious fucking freak. He's a psycho. He's a fucking crazy person. Why would I give a fuck what Amy Coney Barrett has to say? Why would I, again, the moment that Brett Kavanaugh had his, beer-fueled rant and temper tantrum, that was the moment that I think the Supreme Court showed how stupid it is in front of the whole fucking world. Now, we can, Clarence Thomas's was pretty fucking bad, too. But, let's be real, right? A lot of people don't remember that. That's a long time ago, right? But Brett Kavanaugh, man, Jesus Christ. Imagine watching that confirmation hearing and then going this is a great institution. This is a great institution? What? He said that it's the court's job to interpret the Constitution, a task that should not be left to political branches or driven by public opinion. I don't, again, they try to make it seem like it's like a computer reading lines of code. Oh, there's no opinion here. Right? We're constitutionalists. We're looking at the text and we're just saying this is what the text says. We're not adding on. We're not activists. No. We're not misinterpreting. We're just looking at the text. And it's not like all of these words are vague as fuck and have no meaning. No. It's not the case at all. Right? We're just saying we're just putting it through the scanner. Really? I mean, it's the most consistent process in the world. Except it's not, because they change the fucking minds all the fucking time, apparently. Yeah, I don't care anything about what these people have to say. But again, obviously they're going to defend the court's integrity. This is why people say that John Roberts didn't want to overturn Roe v. Wade years ago. That's why they waited for someone like Amy Coney Barrett to get on the bench. Because he didn't, I didn't want to blah, 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 right? So, I don't know, man. These people are fucking whiny little fucking babies. The Supreme fucking Court, my ass. Isn't it crazy that we live in a country where it's you can become a member of the Supreme Court having been a rapist, an abuser, an assaulter. You can be a member of the Supreme Court if you're a religious cultist. Right? If you were literally spent your entire life being raised in a cult, right? During your wedding, Amy Coney Barrett saying, vowing complete and total submissiveness and subservience to their husband. Now, again, you know, sounds good to me if we're talking about the bedroom, but clearly that's not the case, because she's part of this, like, stupid fucking cult Christian freak organization, which, by the way, continually fund her, pay her exorbitant amounts of money to do speaking events right before she rules on a case in which these people are directly involved in. Oh, who would have thought that that's coming, right? Again, you want to talk about fucking integrity of the court. Ginny Thomas. Goddamn Ginny Thomas. You want to talk about integrity of the court? Clarence Thomas was ruling on shit where Ginny Thomas was whispering in his ear. God was whispering in Ginny's ear, and then Ginny whispered in Clarence's ear, and then he ruled that, you know, maybe leave Ginny alone. And remember when these fucking Democrats, by the way, were like, oh, we're going to pack the court. We're going to pack the court. We're going to pack the court. Yeah, let's pack the court. Woo! Remember that? And then as soon as they got into office, what happened to the packing the court? What happened to that? Is anyone going to talk about court packing? I don't know. Maybe they're waiting until after the midterms. You know, maybe they think court packing, after the most unpopular thing that's ever happened, maybe they'll wait until after the midterms to talk about what they're going to do, right? Right? I don't know. It's not like people are registering to vote in droves over the Roe v. Wade decision, right? The Dobbs v. Jackson specifically decision. It's not like people are registering to vote in droves to vote for Democrats and try to, you know, make sure that Republicans stay as far away as possible from these courts, right? No. It's not like there's a great opportunity to campaign on court packing. Nah, fuck it. I don't know, man. But anyway, as far as people's opinions on the Supreme Court, probably the opinion I would want to hear to the least, this fucking guy. I mean, look at his face, right? Like, Jesus Christ, you know? Do I need to say more? Anyway, there you go. I've got like this whole oral situation going on. Now I'm just sucking all the olive oil out of my lips, so. I don't have coconut oil. I don't like coconuts. I don't have cucumber either. It's the random noises portion of the show. Y'all, can you imagine a world? Celery is okay. Imagine a world where at this very moment you are not watching Above It All. Could you imagine that scenario? Because it's happening for millions and millions and millions of Americans today. And so that's why I would like everyone to tell their friends and family members and their dogs about the Above It All program. And yeah, that's all I got. Just spread the word. This lip situation is really distracting. You warn all of your friends? What does that mean, you warn your friends? If someone needs to be warned before they're watching this show, I suggest booking a therapist as soon as possible. I talk about you to my more political friends. What do you say, Sinkwell? Give me an average sentence. Give me like 2 or 3. Give me like, how would you describe me to another person? Everyone's allowed to play the game. How would you describe me to another person? I'm just curious. I'm interested. Goddamn Prince Vegeta's really going for that attention right now. Almost. Oh, I know. I'll whip out the Big Bang attack. Yeah, you got me. The Big Bang, it worked. The random noises portion of the program on CD. Maybe. The cute moms. Oh, jeez. Generally synonymous. That's true. It's like one of those things where it's like the squares and the rectangles. Right? Like all religious people are stupid, but not all stupid people are religious. You know? Like, every religious person, dumber than fucking shit on a chalkboard. Right? But not every stupid person is dumb because they are religious, or not every stupid person is religious. So, but it's like a square and a circle, or a square and a rectangle kind of thing going on. Loves her dog, that's true. She loves drugs, that's also true. You described me to your brother? Well, what did you say? Wean your family from cable news, I think above it all. But send them over the top. I really wanted to do, like, one of these days, I'll get around to it, where I have, like, an actual, like, mainstream news style, like, thing going on. And I'm sitting at a desk and I've got the papers. I want to do that one of these days. A trans anarchist who does political commentary specifically critical of the police, the media, and specific focus on the importance of a vegetarian high-fiber diet? Well, damn. That's, I gotta put that on like a book jacket or something. The Random Noises CD to my best friend for his electronic compositions. I don't usually use electronic in my own composition, but maybe it's time to start. Jesus. Motherfuckers are blogging out here. Oh my god, why don't you transform into someone who respects their prince? Alright. So, on today's episode of The Daily Dullard, we got this stupid ass bitch. Why a woman's doctor warned her not to get pregnant in Texas. So, I'm going to read a little bit of this and then I'm going to play some of this interview. 9 years ago, Cade Despain messaged a friend about a cute girl he saw on her Facebook feed. The friend introduced him to Kaylee Lingo, her sorority sister at Tarleton blah blah blah, who cares. A month after the college graduation, Kaylee and Cade married in Marble Falls, Texas. They're both proud to be native Texans. Kaylee's family has lived there for 3 generations, and Cade's ancestors are among Texas's old 300, the original families that joined Stephen Austin to settle the area in the 1800s. At the time, the Despains were both passionately anti-abortion. I was just your quintessential pro-life Texan, Kaylee, 29, told CNN in a recent interview. I was raised in Central Texas by extremely Republican parents and grandparents, Cade, 31, 100% pro-life. 100% pro-life. Yeah, anti-abortion. I think abortion's a murder, and I'm pro-life until it happens to me. So I want to play this clip here, this interview, because it's got some juicy stuff in it. Now, again, I just want to say, obviously I don't want anyone to go through what this person is going through, obviously, duh, right? But I would rather people that generated and orchestrated this exact outcome to be the ones to face it instead of innocent bystanders who knew how bad this was the whole way. So I just want to say, I do smile when I see Republicans vote for things and then they get what they voted for, and then they cry about it because it hurts them because they're too fucking stupid to understand that beforehand. I gotta be honest. I do enjoy it. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's fun. And I hope she learned a fucking lesson. But anyway, let's watch this.
Jane got married in Marble Falls, Texas, right out of college.
What were your plans for having a family?
Oh man, we wanted kids like right away.
Late last year, Kaylee, a third grade teacher, and her husband, Kate, an electrician, were thrilled
Think about this. A third grade teacher who is a quintessential pro-life Republican. If that doesn't scare the shit out of you, if that doesn't scare the fucking shit out of you, a quintessential pro-life Republican. Also, they're teaching your kids.
To learn she was pregnant. But about 4 months later, at a doctor's appointment,
He said, this is what a normal heart looks like, but this is what your baby's heart looks like. And he was missing heart chambers.
her medical records show more. The fetus had an extra set of chromosomes, a severe brain defect, a severe heart defect, and his lungs were too small. Dr. Leah Tatum is a spokesperson for the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists.
If the fetus develops to term, that fetus will deliver and ultimately that baby will suffocate and pass away.
Kaylee's doctor was clear.
When he's born, he's going to suffocate to death. He may live for a few minutes, he may live for an hour, but he is going to die.
Her doctors said they could not perform an abortion, noting in her records termination is not legal in the state of Texas.
I remember her saying, you know, the course of action that I would have taken with a patient a year ago would be to advise them to terminate. She said that is the safest course of action for you, and it's the most humane course of action for him. And I just remember being so angry and shocked in that moment that I'm being told that my child's not going to survive and that I have to carry him to term no matter what.
And carrying him to term could have put Kaylee's life in danger. She was at high risk for several potentially deadly pregnancy complications, blood clots, preeclampsia, and cancer because of an abnormal placenta. Texas law allows for abortion if the mother has a life-threatening physical condition that places her at risk of death or substantial impairment. But
so once again, I'm not sure what the CNN thing is going to go into, but once again, the exemption thing, it doesn't mean anything because you have to prove that, yes, this person was going to die. How do you prove that? How do you prove that? If you do the abortion and the mother survives, well, you did the abortion. She's standing right there. How do you prove she was going to die otherwise? You can't. You can't. It is impossible. And therefore, what they do is they tack on these exemptions, right? Because it makes them look a little better, right? A little bit. Not really, but a little bit. But it doesn't actually mean anything. And doctors are not going to risk their entire career. And especially in Texas, a doctor will be sent to jail on felony charges. They're not going to risk going to jail for some random bitch, especially not a Republican, right? You know, at least in my position, right? Hey, if I'm going to risk my life, not going to be for a fucking Republican, okay?
Texas lawmakers haven't spelled out exactly what that means.
They're extremely vague. They don't spell out exactly the situations when an abortion can be provided. I would say it's the opposite. They're extremely restrictive and broad. They threaten criminal penalties against physicians. They threaten to take someone's medical license away.
The Despains were faced with a choice. Kaylee could risk her life and give birth to a baby who would die quickly, or go out of state and have an abortion.
How could you be so cruel as to pass a law that you know will hurt women?
So again, now, I'm all for, you know, people getting fucked up by the things that they support, realizing, oh shit, I was lied to, and then correcting their beliefs. That's great. That's great. But again, like, these people are having kids. Like, until this, like, they were having kids. Like, until the whole fucked up pregnancy thing happened, they were still on board. They were still on board. And again, it's one thing. You don't know much about politics. You don't know much about these things. Then guess what? You shouldn't have a strong opinion on something if you haven't done the research. It's one thing. It's like, oh, you know, I was raised pro-life, but I haven't really looked into it. Honestly, I don't know. I respect that. You know what? You're wrong. You should look into it. But you know what? You don't know that much about the situation, and you don't have a fucking hard opinion about it. That's great, okay? I'm sick and tired of these dumb motherfuckers that have these really passionate, outspoken beliefs that they've never done an ounce of research on, right? And it's sad. It's sad. But again, honestly, I want people to look at this. Now, again, I see this person crying, and I'm thinking, fuck yeah, baby. Right? But again, ultimately, she deserves it. Right? I hope she's suffering in the short term. I hope she cries about it a lot. I hope she regrets every moment of her life that she's ever espoused the Republican position. Then, I hope she takes a shower, cleans herself off, and gets started on working to prevent this from ever happening for other people. That's my opinion, but let's keep going.
And that will cause babies to be born in pain. He was going to die a painful death. So how is that humane? How is that saving anybody?
They decided to travel to New Mexico. Texas law prohibits insurance companies from paying for abortions in most cases, so Cade said he had to convince a relative to give them thousands of dollars.
My job as a husband is to protect and love my wife.
Okay, what if you couldn't afford thousands of dollars, right? I'm glad that the super happy Republican white people can just dial up their friends and family for thousands of dollars. What if you don't have friends or family? Or what if you don't have friends or family that have thousands and thousands of dollars to give you for their stupid fucking goddamn voting actions? What if you don't have that? What if you're stuck in the heart of Texas and you can't get the fuck out? What do? Oh, you do nothing. You suffer, die, give birth to something that suffers and dies, and there's no recourse. So I'm happy for them that they just had someone that can bail them out of this situation that they dug themselves into.
If I'm not fighting to keep her here, then I failed.
The doctors recorded the baby's heartbeat. Kaylee sleeps with the giraffe at night and cries, mourning the loss of her baby and another loss too. She and Cade were born and raised in Texas.
And I've never felt more betrayed by a place that I was once so proud to be from.
These are the policies that you supported the entire way through. You were proud to be from Texas because you were on the oppressing end of its political policies, right? Of its political policy. You were on the oppressing end. Now you're on the oppressed end and you don't like it so much. So maybe, now again, I hate when these people, and I'm not saying this about this person, but I hate when people get proven to be incorrect on something, right? And it doesn't somehow shake all of their core identity and their political beliefs, right? Like if you were wrong about abortion, what else are you wrong about? Like you think, oh, Republicans are right about everything except for this now? Or maybe you should be thinking about, oh, what else did I get brainwashed into believing? Because if they're this wrong about this, what else are Republican politicians lying to me about? What else are they wrong about? What else did they lie to me about that I now currently believe? I would be doing a full autopsy of my political beliefs if I were this person.
Desperately want to have another baby, but there's a high likelihood that something will go wrong again.
The last time that I saw my OB, she said, do not get pregnant in Texas right now. She said, this is not safe.
Now Kaylee and Cade have to decide, abide by that advice and leave Texas, leave their families and their jobs, or stay in Texas and risk Kaylee's life once again. Elizabeth Cohen, CNN, Cleburne, Texas.
I just want to say shout outs to that dog. But, again, now, all right, I just want to provide a third way here. Why do you need to have kids? Adopt a kid. There's plenty. I mean, hey, look at all the forced births going on. Why don't you adopt a kid? Why do they? Like, why do the weirdest motherfuckers on planet Earth are always insistent that they themselves have to pass on their genetics? No, you don't. No, you don't. There's plenty of white, beautiful white babies for the domestic infant supply that you can choose from. You don't need to use your genetic code. You can't have a kid. Oh no, it's not the end of the world. You don't have to leave Texas. Go adopt. Go ask your family for the thousands of dollars required to adopt. So, I don't know, man. To me, this is a completely manufactured crisis. Right? They voted for politicians that fucked them over, and now they're reaping what they sowed. And again, this is why I say this. Like, stupidity is not like a permanent disease. Right? You can be dumb as a fucking fuck, right? And then you could not be dumb a year later, 2 years later, 5 years later, after reading, learning, talking to more people, studying history, right? Stupidity is temporary, right? Now, again, you can have stupidity for your entire life. That's very possible. I mean, look at the planet, right? But you can also grow out of it. So when I say most Americans are fucking stupid motherfuckers, I'm not saying that as like a way to scorn them and shun them forever. I'm saying that because they are factually, objectively, by every metric, dumb fuck shit for brains. And again, when they stop being stupid, that's great. When someone opens up a book and learns something, that's wonderful. When someone takes a class, that's wonderful. When someone tries to look into why things are the way that they are, when someone looks into history, when someone looks at a deep dive at all their politicians' votes and what they do and what they stand for, and then decide, that's wonderful. And we can't just keep placating stupid motherfuckers, because they're going to find out eventually how dumb they are. And either they find out the hard way, after millions of innocent people have to deal with finding out the hard way, just how dumb other people are, or we just prevent that stuff from happening in the first place. So anyway, stupid fucking bitch. And I hope she rethinks her political positions. Because again, if she just wants to change from pro-life Republican to pro-choice Republican, then honestly, she needs to go fuck herself, right? But anyway, there you go. Hello, Gary? Oh! I did see The Godfather 3 tweets letter hack. I'll make my decision on which one I'll watch very soon. Ugh. Have I noticed the... Of course. Of course. How could you not? Oh. I'm stretching. Oh. Fuck. God damn. Oh. Fuck. Did I see Hinkle's tweets? Yes. I have seen every single Hinkle tweet. What kind of question is that? Like, what tweets? Like each... Because without any specific context, you're asking if I've read every single one of their tweets. Like, how many tweets have Jackson Hinkle posted? Let's look this up. Because, yes, I've read their tweets. Does it even give you the number of tweets anymore? I guess it doesn't show you that info. But yes, I've read all several thousand. I've read them all. Rielon? Harry and Meghan. Anyone, I'm sorry, anyone that gives a fuck about the royal family, I'm sorry. I don't care if it's like the good ones. anyone that gives a fuck about the royal family at all? Weren't Harry and Meghan like talking up a big game? Like, oh, the royal family's fucked up. Weren't they talking this big game and then they go and cry, oh, the queen is dead, and they hug their pedophile fucking relatives? Fuck them. Fuck them. Hit that goddamn like button, motherfucker. Like the goddamn stram. Reminder to follow me on twitch.tv. I will be streaming again today. Yesterday I did a stream there and I was really high. And I think it was very obvious. But anyway. Let's get into the news. Stupid fucking Republicans. You ever think about this? Stupid, dumb fuck, motherfucking Republicans. Governor Kristi Noem tried to avoid an ethics hearing and tried to steal records. I covered this a little bit ago. Republicans love to be corrupt scumbags. Right? Like, they just love it. They love to talk about how Democrats are corrupt and, you know, this and the basements and the cults and the blah blah, right? But then they go ahead and do the dumbest fucking shit imaginable. So, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem asked a state ethics board to dismiss a complaint against her without a public hearing and to seal off certain records. Documents released Friday by the state's Government Accountability Board show. Like, I just have a question. If you're if you're a politician, any political context, and you are asking an ethics board to drop complaints against you and to seal up those complaints so that no one can access them, I got news for you. That is never going to end well. That is the last, first of all, that's the last board you want to ask. You want to ask the ethics board if you can enact unethical behavior and cover it up. Why would you ask the ethics board for that? The Republican governor is widely seen as eyeing a 2024 White House bid, argued in an April motion that the state's attorney general, a fellow Republican who filed the complaint, was out for political retribution and should be removed from the complaint. Noem had pushed former Attorney General Jason Rothschild to resign, and later for his impeachment over his... Oh yeah, that's the guy that fucking killed someone. That killed someone in a car crash. They were like drunk driving and killed someone and then ran away from the scene of the crime. The Attorney General's complaint was sparked by a report from the Associated Press last year. And then, so they kill someone in a drunk driving incident, run away, and then everyone finds out about it. And then Kristi Noem is like, oh, maybe you should step down. And then they're like, fuck you, I'm not stepping down. In fact, now I'm going to leak all the dirt on you. That's funny. That is fucking funny. Shortly after the agency moved to deny her daughter Cassidy Peters a real estate appraiser license in July of 2020, Noem held a meeting with Peters and key decision makers in her licensure. Days after the meeting, Peters signed an agreement that gave her another opportunity to meet the licensing requirements. The South Dakota Legislature's Audit Committee, controlled by Republicans, unanimously approved a report in May that found Noem's daughter got preferential treatment. Oh, you don't say. The records released Friday provided some new insight into an inquiry that the Government Accountability Board has conducted mostly in secret for nearly a year. The 3 retired judges who evaluate the ethics complaint unanimously found last month that there were enough evidence for them to believe Noem engaged in misconduct by committing malfeasance and a conflict of interest. The board has said an appropriate action would be taken against Noem, though it didn't specify that action. It is also not clear whether Noem will request a contested case hearing before the board to publicly defend herself against the allegations, blah, blah, blah. Anyway. So, I just wanted to report on this because, you know, this is funny. And this bitch is fucking stupid. She's one of the dumber... there's on the list of dumb bitches, this bitch, dumb as a motherfucker, let me tell you. She is the dumb bitch of dumb bitches, right? She is the dumb bitch of the dumb bitches that are dumb bitches. I don't know what else to say about that. But again, I love that there's the cannibalizing aspect to this. So a Republican attorney general does a hit and run while drunk, murders somebody. Everyone finds out about it, right? And then they're like, maybe you should resign. And they're like, fuck no, I'm not resigning. Fuck you for even suggesting that I resign. And then he starts fucking trying to get blood. He's like, oh, fuck you for that. So now I'm going to try to sink your 2024 career. And you know what? God bless him. So anyway, that's pretty enjoyable information. And that's all I have to say about it. So. Oh. Oh. I'm just stretching. Oh my God. Fuck me. Holy shit. I'm still feeling that stretch. That was a great stretch. All right, next. All right, now this is... Okay. Y'all, list of things you don't really want to know about while we're still dealing with the COVID pandemic and the monkeypox pandemic. That's right. Third time's the charm. Polio. New York declares a state of emergency over polio. Retro Boomer, $5 super chat. Here's some money. Thank you, thank you. The governor of New York has declared a state of emergency over polio as evidence emerges that the virus is spreading across the state. Health officials say wastewater samples in New York City and 4 adjacent counties have tested positive for polio virus that can cause paralysis. Now, I just want to say this. While the New York governor is saying to stop all control of COVID, let that pandemic go uncontrolled. Now she's going to try to be, oh, we got to stand on top of the science on polio. I'm just saying, this is funny shit. That is funny shit. Like, on one end, fuck health, fuck science, fuck making sure people are okay. Let's all get COVID and long COVID. On the other hand, oh shit, it's polio. We got to be super serious. Though only one case so far has been confirmed, it is the first in the country in nearly a decade. Polio was largely eradicated from the U.S. by vaccinations that began in 1955. By 1979, the U.S. was declared polio-free. But according to New York officials, vaccination rates are too low in parts of the state. Friday's emergency declaration is aimed at boosting flagging immunization rates. There is no cure for polio, but it can be prevented by the vaccine. Mostly affecting children, the virus typically causes muscle weakness and paralysis, and in most serious cases, permanent disability and death. New York State's health department said it aims to boost vaccination rates from the current statewide average of about 79% to above 90%. Quote, on polio, we simply cannot roll the dice. But on COVID, we can roll the dice? On monkeypox, let's roll some fucking dice. There's a 9/11 in this country once a week from COVID deaths. One person gets polio. That's super serious. 3,000 people dying a week of COVID. Fuck it, whatever. I'm just saying, I just can't take these motherfuckers seriously. If you or your child are unvaccinated or not up to date with vaccinations, the risk of paralytic disease is real. She added that for every one case of paralytic polio observed, there may be hundreds of other people infected. An inactivated polio vaccine is used in both the US and the UK as part of a routine childhood program. In the US, about 93% of toddlers have received at least 3 doses of the polio jab, according to the vaccination data from the CDC. I love that it's 93%, though. Like, this is what happens when you have, like, the vaccines cause autism movement over the last 20 years. Because now some of those people that grew up and their parents thought vaccines caused autism, so they didn't get vaccinated, well, now they're walking and talking landmines. Isn't that great? So anyway, they're doing a state of emergency over this. Or at least an emergency order. But I just think it's hilarious that this happens the same week that Kathy Hochul made the big, like, anti-vaxxers, anti-science people are actually your friend push. Oh, people that don't wear masks and people that don't have vaccines and they're healthcare workers, they're actually really great people. Respect your neighbor. My neighbor wants to kill me and I'm supposed to respect them, right? So it's the same week that they do that stupid pro-genocide, anti-science campaign for COVID. And yet on polio, we're supposed to take them seriously? Oh, they're going to get polio under control, right? Right? From the same guys that controlled COVID-19? So anyway, expect it to get worse. But to my knowledge, I'm vaccinated for polio. I don't think that my mom there was an anti-vaxxer, but I don't know how I would get that information. I don't know where that information would be stored. But anyway, that's really funny. And, hope for the best. Expect the worst. Yeah, anyone that eats meat is not a political genius. Let's just put that out there. That's like saying, yo, my friend, political genius. They also supported Adolf Hitler in the Holocaust. But they're political genius, really smart. They just happen to be in favor of genocide. Total genius, though. Other than that, total genius. Anyway, I'm really high, so that's the news portion of the show. Gonna do a movie review. And then I'm out. But I'm done. But hopefully you enjoyed the show this morning, the news portion of the program. I will be doing a Twitch stream later, so follow me on Twitch. And I'm gonna do a movie review. Anyway. So yesterday, I decided to watch my last horror movie of the year before the month of October and my Halloween special begins. So I watched Held. Just some random shit. You know, sometimes I'm in the mood to watch a movie. And the mood is like, I want to watch something I've never heard of before. I have no information on it. Because this is, it reminds me of how I would rent movies at Blockbuster when I was a kid, right? The only way you judge the movie is by the cover. What does the box look like? And that's it. There was no, internet. Maybe you'd see a trailer on TV, but, you go through the streaming service, look at the box. If you've never heard of it, it's a candidate. And so I clicked on this totally at random, Held. So this movie, I'm actually not going to lie, I thought it was pretty good. The acting was, pretty cheesy. Some of the cinematography was pretty cheesy. But you know what? That's a good thing. As far as I'm concerned, if it's a horror movie and the acting is cheesy, that's a bonus, right? And so this movie basically, a couple is going on vacation for their anniversary. They rent out this super nice house for the weekend or some shit. And they're going to have a great time. And the wife gets there sooner than the husband. But then the husband gets there after the fact, right? You know, they stay up all night drinking. And then the husband busts out some whiskey. Now, again, this is all in the rented house. So I guess it was there originally. I'm not sure. So he busts out the whiskey. And then, lo and behold, I don't know, was the whiskey poisoned? Who knows? They pass the fuck out later. And then the woman has some crazy dreams. And then they kind of wake up in like this Saw like kind of thing. Where it's like they're in the house, but the house is locked down. Right? And then there's like some guy with a voice changer talking to them over a loudspeaker like Saw. So you're thinking, oh, okay. It's like a Saw kind of thing, right? They got kidnapped. And then like there's a laptop that has like a bunch of dirt on them. Like a laptop that has like a bunch of like shit like that basically shows that the woman cheated on the husband at some point. So then you're thinking, oh, it's like Saw. They're being tested. Okay, but it's a Saw clone. All right. And then, around halfway through the movie, it is revealed that it's actually not that much of a Saw clone. In fact, the husband set it up, and the husband and the killer work together, essentially I just spoiled the whole movie for you, but I mean, whatever. Essentially, what they do is the woman pretends to drink the whiskey, right, after suspecting that the husband is being weird. And then, like, they think that she passed out from the whiskey or whatever that's poisoned with, like, sleeping medication or some shit. She wanders around, finds, like, a control room that has, like, it shows the identity of the killer. And that basically, like, she finds out that, like, the killer offers a program where a husband who is unsatisfied with their wife, the wife is not submissive enough, right? Like, I love the control room looks like some 1950s nuclear family shit. It was super well done, by the way, the control room, because you've got that weird ass, like, awkward ass shaped table. You've got the old ass, like, 1950s television. And so it's like the whole thing is like, oh, if your wife isn't completely obedient, we're going to make her obedient by, basically forcing her through this whole thing, and then the husband's gonna like save her, right, or whatever, and then it's gonna create that like trauma bonding. That's kind of what it implies. But then again, she finds that out, so then she knows the husband's a bad guy. And you know what? I thought it was a good twist. I thought it was well done. I didn't see it coming, to be honest. I mean, I noticed that the husband was being weird. But I thought that the way that would develop was completely different. Anyway, so I thought it was pretty cool. It was a good movie. Now again, is it the perfect movie? Is it the best horror movie ever made? Not even close. But it was definitely fun to watch. And then, the woman has to like, pretend to be passed out until like she has like a capability of escaping. And then, she tries to escape, blah, blah, blah. Watch the movie if you want to know the ending. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I like the subversion. I like how it starts off as like a Saw clone, but then it turns into its own unique thing. I'm into it. Held. Folks, check it out. Or don't. I don't know. That's the movie review segment of the show. All these segments. I'm busting out all these goddamn fucking segments, Hello, Nassim. Hello, how are you? I'm from India. Are you Russian? I am not Russian, but hello. Yeah, that's my show for today. I mean, The Godfather is a great movie, but it does not compare to some random bullshit that I saw on Hulu. I saw it on Hulu. Funpy? Are we allowed to ask what? No. How dare you even suggest that you would be allowed to ask me how I saw the film? What the fuck? Anyway, that's the show. Thank you all. Follow me on Twitch, or don't, but I'll be streaming there later. Everyone have a great day. I will see y'all tomorrow or later today, whatever.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. I went in yesterday and there was a television screen and I said, this is genius. The world is actually a small piece of the universe, right?
Seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Can you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.